we say no kings and no authoritarianism, but Kamala Harris, no one voted for her.
Yes, they did. Half the country voted for her, so let's not go there.
No one was voted for her to be the nominee.
Yes, they did.
Isn't that what, like, authoritarian?
You're going down the wrong road right now with me.
What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
It's true. I'm at a protest, though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything.
I'm just asking what crimes they have committed.
I don't have to list them to you. You can simply look it up.
So what about the legal people that are getting deported?
There aren't legal people being deported.
There are legal people. What you mean, who? You want me to
Tell me
list
who?
all the hundreds of thousands of
Just
people
one.
that get legally deported?
Just
I
one.
don't need to name you one name. Go educate yourself.
Yeah. Could I ask you about your sign?
You may. What would you like to know?
Well, first of all, did you make this piece of art?
No, but I downloaded it and supported an Etsy artist
Oh,
who feels the same way I do.
awesome.
Supports small business.
What was so important to come out to fight against today?
Well, the violation of norms that we've enjoyed in this democracy for many generations. I think it's being exploited for personal gain to, grow the coffers of one man and one man only. He's not thinking about the people that he's been elected to represent. And I'd really like for him to treat people with due process. And
head onto the sidewalk, even after
Okay.
go on the grass. So
What? Oh, don't go on the grass. Okay.
Thank you.
So it's Trump's Trump's birthday. Do you have a birthday message for him? Nothing mean.
reflect. You're old enough to reflect on what your legacy is going to be. Is this really what you want? Think about it, buddy.
Do you think this is what Trump supporters voted for?
I think many of them have a lot of regrets because the outcomes aren't what they thought they would be. Understandably mistaken. I think if many had to do it over again, they would change their vote. I think others are getting exactly what they wanted, and to them, I hope they open up for a little bit more love in their hearts, and they hope they get the support that they need.
Okay. What kind of hate in their hearts do you think Trump supporters have?
I don't think they have hate. I think they are misguided and misinformed and misled, kind of in a cult-like manner, to believe things that aren't fact-checked through, different opinions. I think it's good to source. I source from Fox from time to time just to understand what the other side is thinking.
Where do you usually get your news from?
The BBC is who I switched to, and I do a lot of AP. I was doing NPR for a little bit. I still like NPR and Associated Press.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And you would say those are pretty unbiased.
The BBC, yes. And yes, I was on the MSNBC kick, but I thought it was a little bit too pushed in one direction, a little too extreme for my taste. I understand the attraction of extremes, and I'm more of a middle guy. That's where I want to get back to.
If there's one thing you could say to Trump supporters that they might be brainwashed on, what would you tell them?
Oh gosh. I don't know where to start, but I'm going to start with, I guess, immigration. Yep, happy to keep walking. I think they are mistaken about the contributions of immigrants in this country. I think they deserve a more lenient passage into citizenship. So I hope they would work towards legislation that's more inclusive, not extreme executive orders that are exclusive.
Hi, I love your sign. It says, "In America, the law is king." Where does this inspiration come from, and what's it mean to you?
just sign up. Right there.
All right.
Yeah.
What spoke to you about what did this quote scream out to you today for you to want to hold it at this protest?
Well, I think, we all give up a little bit in terms of obeying the law so that we're all protected.
Right.
And I don't like it when people willfully and just repeatedly break the law out in the open, like the administration is doing.
So some people are saying that people who come to our country illegally are also breaking the law. Would you say that the law that prohibits them from coming into our country illegally is also king?
Once they're here, they're protected.
How so?
If you're in this country, you don't have everybody has the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You're able to say whatever you want to say, and the only time there's a problem is if you actually do something physical. Just
Well, the people that come over illegally, say from Mexico, they cross our southern border, the law says that they can be deported for coming into our country illegally. Would you agree with that?
well, I mean, as long as if they are picked up and there's a due process, for them. Speaking of the law, if there's a due process and it's proven that they are, here illegally, then maybe in some cases they could be deported.
All right, that makes sense. Very good. All right. You want to have a happy birthday message to Donald Trump today?
No,
No? Not even like a happy birthday?
I have no happy birthday for Donald Trump. What is this?
This is our YouTube channel.
I'm sorry.
Our YouTube channel.
Is it right wing or left wing?
It's right wing. Is that okay that you're being interviewed by a right wing person?
It is not okay, and I wish for this not to be published.
Why wouldn't it be okay?
I don't know how it's going to be edited. You know what? Tell me again.
My name's Caitlin Bennett, and I'm with Liberty Hangout. You can hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So, yeah.
I don't wish for this to be published on your YouTube channel.
Okay. Well, you have a sign about the law being king. The law says that I can film and publish whatever I want in public. All right. Have a good day.
I'm not giving you any answers. I don't think anyone here wants to give you answers.
You're literally talking to me right now.
I know, because I'm telling you that I don't want to give you any answers. Nobody here wants to give you answers.
It's Donald Trump's birthday.
You're better to move on.
No.
You're better to move on.
No.
This is not the right place for you.
Aren't you all about inclusivity?
That's the paradox of inclusivity.
Okay.
The paradox of tolerance. Have you heard of that?
What is so wrong with me that I shouldn't be welcome here?
Because we don't have to tolerate intolerance.
Go on. What about me specifically? Should I not be welcome here?
You are here questioning why people are here peacefully demonstrating. We have the right to be here peacefully demonstrating. Everyone here is literally telling you why they're here with their signs, with their very presence. And yet here you are, getting in people's faces, keeping them away from what's important. And so I'm done with you now, and I really just suggest
You got your 15. No, because this is all about love, and so I should be welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys came up to me. Why do they always come up to me and then tell me to stop filming or tell me to leave? How are you today?
Doing wonderful. How are you?
Is that foundation or is that Cheeto dust?
It's Cheeto dust. Of course, it's Cheeto dust. Absolutely. I'm sure it
Tell us about why you're wearing this and what inspired it.
Because I am very anti-Trump. I'm for democracy in America. I don't want kings. I don't want dictatorship. So I'm here to support America and the people that need the help that we're not getting sometimes.
Okay, and how is Trump exhibiting king-like behavior?
He's doing king-like behavior by having military parade would be a good idea. National Guard going out, not following the Constitution, several things.
Okay, all right. It's his birthday today.
I know.
Do you have a happy birthday message to him?
I hope I see your obituary in the paper tomorrow.
Okay.
That'd be my message, yeah.
Okay, so you hope that this is his last birthday.
Well, I don't want him dead. I just want him not in office anymore.
Well, obituary would mean dead.
I know. I was being sarcastic. I would like him out of office.
Out of office.
Yeah.
Would you like J.D. Vance to be the president
No,
then?
I would not.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you like to be the president?
Kamala Harris right now, but she didn't win. But
Can I point out something that we say no kings and no authoritarianism, but Kamala Harris, no one voted for her.
yes, they did. Half the country voted for her. So let's not go there.
No one was voted for her to be the nominee.
Yes, they did.
Isn't that what authoritarian?
You're going down the wrong road right now with me. I wouldn't go any further.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's what it means.
I just think it's ironic
I
that
don't care if
no
it's
one
ironic or not.
voted
They
for her to be
did.
the nominee. They just selected her like a
thank you.
king gets
Appreciate your
selected,
opinion,
right?
but keep it to yourself. Okay. Bye. Have a good day. See ya.
All
Take
right.
care.
What's your other sign say?
No, you don't need to see it.
Okay.
None of your business.
All right. Thank you so much. What crimes have they committed?
Trump?
Yeah, the ones in the Oval Office. What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
It's true. I'm at a protest though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I'm here for my community.
Okay, so you make a sign about people being criminals, but you don't know what you made it for?
All right, so
I make a sign supporting my community and the people in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed.
I know. You shouldn't be ashamed of your sign. I'm just asking what crimes they have committed.
I don't have to list them to you.
Might I?
You can simply look it up.
Have you done research? It's all over the media.
Yeah, so I was just asking him, he's holding the sign, if he could just tell me what crimes people in the Oval Office have committed. You're holding it, so I thought maybe you could give it to me quickly.
I'm good.
You want to overcomplicate everything and break it down, but it's very.
He's holding a sign that says people are criminals.
He's doing Nazi hand gestures.
Who?
Trump, and that is
When?
the lack of empathy thing. You know what I'm talking about.
He's doing
it's all
Nazi
over its
hand
videos,
gestures?
all over the internet. He does
Trump
the hand
is.
thing. Yes, he does. And you can sit here and overcomplicate it and make it a difficult thing, but it's not that.
he's 18. He's 18. If you want to
Great,
know what
they're
issues that we're
adults.
having, the Monuments Clause, they're not following that. They're not following due process for immigrants.
They are.
They're also not allowing Congress to take care of their own rights, which is to make sure that everything is appropriate correctly and that all the departments that are running our government get the resources that they need.
Are those crimes?
Those are really a fine line.
His sign just said that they're committing crimes. All I did was ask what crimes are being committed, and you guys are now like shaking, and I was just wondering if you could tell me what crimes.
Yeah. Well, the crime mainly is to divide us and to have you asking these questions when you're really missing the point. And
I'm asking you guys for the point. You cannot give me one crime anyone in the Oval
I gave
Office
you 5
has-
points.
Okay, so he's making Nazi salutes.
I gave her the points.
You know, I know you're just trying to make videos, okay? So you can make money off of other people. We're here for a cause.
Yeah.
We're here for something deeper than just arguing, okay? We're here for love and empathy and spreading the right messages.
You just accuse someone of throwing up the Nazi salute.
It's not an accusation, okay?
When did he do that?
There is plenty of videos on the internet, okay? I'm not here to give you evidence. I'm here for a cause, okay?
I don't think you can give me the evidence.
You can look it up.
Okay,
You're here
yeah.
to prove a
Every
point.
time I ask them to go further into what they're saying or their signs, it's always, you can look it up.
He's an egotistical
You can,
person.
on Wikipedia, they
Being
say.
egotistical.
So
You
just tell me
lose-
when he did
you
it.
lose by being an egotistical person.
I know.
That's the loss.
I know. All right, thank you.
You got any more assumptions to make, or?
You are probably against the deportations happening in Los Angeles.
You're not against deportations happening?
No,
Why?
because I think people who come here illegally should be deported.
So what about the legal people that are getting deported?
There aren't legal people being deported.
There are legal
Who?
people. What you mean, who? You want me to
Tell me
list
who.
all the hundreds of thousands of
Just
people
one.
that get legally deported?
Just
I
one.
don't need to name you one fucking name. Go educate yourself.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot today. No one can back up with examples or proof anything that they're claiming.
It's not my job to educate you.
I know.
It's not.
I know. That's their cop out. But
So-
when they can't back themselves up, they just go back with, well, it's not my job to
It's not.
educate you.
It's
It's
not.
your job to educate yourself so
am
that you know what you're out here supporting. So when someone asks you a question,
I'm against
you can back
deportation.
yourself up.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. The fact that you're not mad shows how far removed
What
you
should
are.
I be
The
mad
fa-
about? I got what I voted for.
Yeah, so you're
Mass
doing great.
deportation.
You're doing great. You know
I-
what that shows
I
me? That
voted for
nobody that.
that.
you love or care about is suffering the injustices that are happening every fucking day. And that's why you wear that shit so fucking proud. Because nobody you love or actually care about is suffering this shit. You're looking at
You know
somebody
who
in the
is
eye.
suffering? People I care about are American citizens who are being killed by gang members coming across our country and our
They're
border.
not fucking illegal immigrants. Undocumented immigrants have the lowest percentage of committing crime.
They commit crimes once they cross our border.
They have the lowest. Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Are you fucking serious? Americans who were born and raised in this country statistically commit more crimes than any undocumented.
You're getting that statistic.
You's
You're,
an immi-
you're
you's an
getting that
immigrant?
statistic
You's an
because they
immigrant?
do not.
You's an immigrant?
So I want to
You's an
point out
immigrant?
his.
You's an immigrant?
I'm going to
You's
point
an
out his
immigrant?
statistic. He's
You's an
talking about a
immigrant?
statistic
What are you doing
where they
here?
pulled all immigrants,
You's an immigrant?
not illegal immigrants.
You's an immigrant?
Only all the immigrants. And so it's really ironic that they take this statistic where they look at all immigrants and not just illegal immigrants.
It's okay
illegal
when you don't
immigrants
suffer the
commit a
injustices,
ton
right?
of crime.
Crazy. That's crazy when it's okay when you're a fucking
I know you
immigrant,
really like me and you want my time, but I'm gonna move on now.
I like
okay?
yelling at you in the face.
How are you guys doing? Welcome to the protest today.
Howdy.
What is so important to come out here and protest for today?
I think the most important thing would be the precedent. I think the precedent would be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because I've heard talk about him acting within legal rights, but here's the thing. I don't think he's going to be the one that sets or the one that does the final like push of like getting rid of democracy and stuff like that. But I do think he's setting the precedent for the person to take over for him.
Okay.
So combating that is the most important thing. I think that's what I think.
Absolutely. So a lot of people were talking about what's going on in Los Angeles right now.
Right.
And there's been calls that this is what these protests were going to erupt into today: riots,
Right.
fire, bombs, tear gas.
Right.
Would you send a message out to whoever's watching if they are inclined to act that way? Would you disavow that violence that happened in Los Angeles?
I think the violence that happened in Los Angeles, absolutely, I disavow that. But I think what's happened out there was instigated from the other side.
How so?
I would say I've heard stories about the police coming out and instigating some of the protesters. I've heard but I think this is an example of what's going on today. Is there's no violence all around. I think that's what's happening, and I think a lot of media outlets want to portray LA as just pure violence, but that wasn't the entire case.
How would someone be instigated to light a cop car on fire?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't hear about it too much. I heard it, I know about it, I didn't look into it that much, so honestly, I don't know.
Is there ever a situation where someone would be instigated to light a cop car on fire and stand on top of it with the Mexican flag?
Probably, yeah.
Go on.
I would say, I could see some situations, but then again, that's not what this should be.
Okay.
That's not what it should be.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Have a beautiful time
Thank
out here.
you.
It's wonderful weather. Hi. You're beautiful. Has anyone ever told you that? Like your whole look, you look so classy and just so like well put together. I think you look so beautiful. This is an interesting sign. Would you like to explain it to me?
This is we, the people.
Yeah.
And together, we can defeat Trump and his administration.
Trump. Okay. It's his birthday today. Do you want to say happy birthday to him?
No, I do not.
What is the most important thing to fight the Trump administration on?
Show up, stand together.
Is there any one specific issue that the Trump admin is pushing that you think is the worst?
There's just so much.
Yeah. Like right now, I think a lot of people are focusing on ICE and deportation right now. Is that the most important thing?
I don't know that's the most important thing for me, but
Actually, it's Pride Month. I see more foreign national flags than I do Pride flags. That's weird. Did like Pride Month just get like tossed to the side?
yeah, I don't know. I've seen some flags.
I've seen like one. Huh. I guess they just got pushed to the side, huh? That's not right. All right, I guess June is Immigrant Month.
Hi, what we're basically doing is we're working with People Power for Florida to sign petitions to help expand Medicaid in the state of Florida
All
by
right.
putting a question on the ballot next year to expand Medicaid.
Who would it expand to?
So it would expand to low-income individuals who go to the 138th percent of the federal poverty index.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Any to illegal immigrants at all?
I don't believe so, because you would have to be able to meet the requirements and eligibility standards set by the state of Florida and by the United States, where I do believe that undocumented immigrants would be ineligible, from my understanding.
Do you think that we should put a little thing in there that allows illegal immigrants to get free healthcare, free Medicaid?
Not necessarily, but this isn't me personally. That would be the sponsor to make that decision.
So you're like working for this company?
Yes, ma'am. So actually, no. I'm a volunteer.
Okay.
So I'm separate. We're basically we're affiliated with the main organization.
Well, what do you think? Do you think we should be giving free healthcare to illegal immigrants?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. All right. Why not?
Well, personally, I think. Well, it depends. I mean, if I feel like if they pay taxes, then why not? But if not, then probably not, because based off fairness. But thank you so
A
much.
fair and balanced view. I love it. Tell me about your sign.
It says Donald Trump eats corn the long way because he can't do anything right. So there you see it, the man eating corn the long way.
Why is that the wrong way?
You know, usually you eat it kind of across the thing. He just goes top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you like the corn expert?
Sure. I'll take that position.
All right. Well, you said it, so
Yeah.
it must be true.
I love corn.
All right. It's his birthday today.
It is.
Happy birthday message to Donald Trump.
My mom always told me if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'll stay quiet.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. So you guys had like a sign making thing all together, right?
Yeah, it's trying race sports so I can keep it updated.
What?
It's trying race sports so I can keep up with this bullshit.
I do the same thing because like it changes every minute,
Yeah,
right?
look at this.
That's okay. You got it. It looks good. Don't rob us of due process. All right. Tell me about your sign.
It's a slant rhyme.
So what?
It's a slant rhyme.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the achievement. I spent about a week trying to think of what rhymes with process. Yeah.
Okay.
Because due process is the topic of the hour.
Yeah.
Do we have that? Don't we?
Do we have due process?
I haven't checked my email in like an hour.
Okay. Okay. I think we have due process.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you see people not having due process?
The immigrants who are snatched off the work sites, out of their homes, out of their churches, out of schools, off the streets, into unmarked cars.
So if they had deportation orders that even were from the Biden administration, is that not due process that they are ordered to be deported?
Were they charged of a crime?
If they have deportation orders,
Yeah.
that was given from a lawyer.
Okay.
And so that would be due process, right?
Sure.
So they are getting due process even if they're snatched out of places. If they have deportation orders.
Were they communicating those deportation orders when they snatched them out of school?
Oh, I'm sure when they snatched them out of school. And I don't know who you're talking about being snatched out of school.
Okay.
Can you give me the name or what are you talking about?
It's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you get on your phone and you figure it out, you let me know.
Gotcha.
All right. But yeah, I mainly see people who come here illegally and they're unvetted and we don't know that they're here. If they've been accused of a crime, I think they get due process for that. But also, I think people who didn't come here legally in the first place didn't respect our due process to come here legally.
Well, it takes about 10 years for the legal process to get someone's citizenship. So
that's due process.
That's due process?
That is the due process. That's the process that they are supposed to do to come into the country. If they don't follow due process to come in, we are being very kind at offering them due process when we kick them out.
It's not a matter of kindness, it's a constitutional guarantee.
Yeah, that you will be deported if you come here illegally. How are you?
Caitlin Bennett, correct?
You've got you've got numbers on there in case you get arrested?
Yeah, I don't want to be arrested, but I mean, when you see what's going on in LA, you never know anybody anywhere could get hurt, and that's a little bit scary, but I'm not here to cause trouble.
Would you disavow what happened in LA?
Disavow what happened in LA? Can I ask exactly what you mean?
Well, the rioters burning down cop cars, throwing cement bricks at police officers and cars driving on the road. Could you denounce that?
I think that in history, it is ignorant to look at violence against an oppressive system and see it as anything but not like right or wrong. It's important to, in the time we must think of it that way. But retrospectively, we have to understand that that is simply societal progress, that it's been the entirety of human history in the last 6,000 years of civilization. It's really important to understand that if you look at that today and you're it's one of those things where it's essentially, if you believe that the United States government...
Just say it's wrong.
No.
Is it wrong?
I mean, I was giving you an explanation.
Is it wrong?
Loaded question fallacy. I don't know, man.
Is it wrong to riot in a city and burn down a cop car?
I'd much rather talk about the fact that I don't support the Democrats. I don't support the Republicans.
I don't care. I want to know if you think it's wrong for rioters to burn down cop cars and throw concrete bricks at human beings.
So I'm assuming you think that's wrong?
Do you think it's wrong?
I don't support physical violence against a human being at any point.
There we go. So you're also pro-life and against abortion.
I'm also pro-life and against abortion.
Yes. You don't believe in physical harm towards another human being at all.
Yeah, I would say in that case that has a lot to do with, like, so for example, I go hunting, right? So that's the case, and this is very scientific minded. I understand that in the United States of America, when it comes to abortion, it is not a conversation of objectivity when it comes to human life and that kind of thing. For me, at the very least, we're gonna have different opinions depending on the religious background you come from. So that's why for me it has
Not religious.
Not religious? I'm not saying
When
you're
does
religious.
human life begin?
When does human life begin? For me, of course, like anything that is equal to human is a human. Now, if it's like a half of, it's not the full combination, like the implantation hasn't necessarily occurred, then at that point, like, you know, if you're using like Plan B and stuff like that, generally I would say that that's not a human in a scientific sense, but it's not really a question of semantics for me. It's much more a question of, if we have a disagreement here in the United States of America, it's within our rights to have a conversation about it. So I think that the most free option is that each individual person gets to choose, because again, I mean, you're in favor of states' rights, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, states' rights. So is that because you don't want the federal government being in control? You're kind of libertarian-esque?
I wouldn't say I'm a libertarian. I believe states' rights. The states have rights according to our Constitution. But no, I would not say I'm no longer a libertarian.
No longer
I think
libertarian.
that's weak, and I'm not into that. I fully support mass deportation. I support
Mass deportation?
criminalizing women for obtaining or trying to obtain abortions, because that is murder. And so no, I would not say that I'm libertarian-esque. But I used to be.
Yeah. So I guess my perspective on that is more so the sense that if you're so radical in the sense that you are not in favor of it whatsoever, and you want it banned on a national level, you want people to go to prison for it across the board, then I guess the argument that I'm making doesn't really work for you. I would just say that in the United States, morality isn't decided by no God, by no man, but by our group coming together and deciding what is moral and what is not moral, because that is what a democracy is. Essentially, you can be as mad as you fucking want. I don't give a f. Here's the thing. We're going to have to vote on it, and we have voted on it, and we'll continue to vote on it. So it's my perspective that is how we decide, because I can sit here and I can say, it's immoral for you to be here fucking bothering people, but I'm not going to make it illegal.
I'm not bothering you. We're having a good conversation.
I mean, you're trained to harass people. It's kind of
Who trained me?
I don't know. You probably went to school for it. I don't know your background. I'm not obsessed.
I went to school to be trained on how to harass people.
What did you go to school for?
Biology.
That's pretty cool. I like biology.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. What I mean when I say trained is you're clearly media trained. You're working
No,
on media.
I'm literally 100% independent. Always have been. I just happened to get some media time because of my picture with an AR-10, and I've never been under anybody. I've always been doing my own
Can
thing.
I talk about guns?
I really want to go talk to that woman about her Mexican flag.
Okay.
I suppose that you are pro-gun?
I would say that when it comes to guns, I think the Second Amendment is absolutely important. I think there's a big misunderstanding of the Second Amendment when it comes to whether it is in reference to arms as in guns or arms as in militias. I am pro-people's militias because that is what the Founding Fathers intended. Having said that, the militias that are here today are facing tyranny and refusing to do anything about it. So I look at the NRA
What
and I'm
should
like,
they do? What should be going on right now from the militias?
what should be going on? Organization. I think it's important that the people are organized. Do what the Founding Fathers did. You must be organized. You must have town halls. You must speak to people. You must have community. You must not look at left versus right. You must look at bottom versus top, because at the end of the day, there are people who run this society that essentially reduce your vote to practically nothing via gerrymandering, via what am I thinking of? The electoral college. The fact that I have a vote that's worth significantly less than somewhere else. Like the fact that we can reduce that. The fact that you have to be incredibly wealthy to become a politician who can run for the highest office. Every Democrat, every Republican, APAC, Super PAC, every single one of these, there's zero reason why that money should be going to funding any of these politicians. Get money out of politics. How can we not agree on that?
You did a great job. You should get a podcast.
Oh yeah?
You have a lot to say.
Okay, you want to get my Instagram? I can talk to you about it anytime.
No, that's okay. You do that on your own, just like I did everything on my own. You got this.
Hey, free Palestine.